In a bombshell new report out in ABC News, a witness has told investigators for the House Ethics Committee that Republican Congressman Matt Gaetz paid her via Venmo for sex. Now, I should note that the woman was not identified by ABC News and that we don't know her age at the time the payment was made. It also remains to be seen what the implications are of the legality of paying for sex in the first place, but the finding highlights one blinking red light for Gaetz, that the House Ethics Committee is taking its obligation to investigate Gaetz seriously, and that Gaetz might have a major problem on his hands as the probe moves forward. According to ABC News, investigators have interviewed at least half a dozen women who allegedly attended parties where the Florida congressman was also present and who were paid by Joel Greenberg, Gaetz' one-time close friend. Greenberg was sentenced in 2022 to 11 years in federal prison after pleading guilty to multiple charges, including sex trafficking a minor and introducing the minor to other adult men. Also in the article, in the interviews, which have previously not been reported, some witnesses have been shown Venmo payments they allegedly received from Gaetz and asked if those payments were for sexual activities, sources said. Some of the witnesses have been subpoenaed by the committee, while others have agreed to cooperate, according to the sources. And of course, with characteristic defiance, Gaetz has responded to this news by posting, "The House Ethics Committee has closed 4 probes into me, which emerged from lies intended solely to smear me. Instead of working with me to ban congressional stock trading, the Ethics Committee is now opening new frivolous investigations. They are doing this to avoid the obvious fact that every investigation into me ends the same way, my exoneration. This is Soviet. Kevin McCarthy showed them the man, and they are now trying to find the crime. I work for Northwest Floridians who won't be swayed by this nonsense, and McCarthy and his goons know it." Of course, the jab at Kevin McCarthy should come as no surprise, given McCarthy's comments about Gaetz regarding this very topic.
But you want Gaetz to lose. Clearly, you're supporting his primary opponent. Why do you want him out? Just because, is it simply because he led the charge to push you out?
No, I just don't think Gaetz is a conservative. I mean, and if you think about it, if there's anybody who should go to trial, I mean, Gaetz is one who should be convicted in a trial.
Why? Why do you say that?
Well, we all know the challenge here. You can't sleep with underage women and think you can get away with it. I mean,
he denies that.
Well, the women don't, and so there's people in jail because of it, and I think that's a place that people should have a court. I just don't think that as an individual should be represented in Congress.
You made a lot of concessions in the negotiations.
No, I didn't. Okay,
is that
let's get to the bottom of that.
Right?
That is such a misnomer in life. Let me give you the truth about that now. And I'll give you the truth why I'm not Speaker. It's because one person, a member of Congress, wanted me to stop an ethics complaint because he slept with a 17-year-old. An ethics complaint that started before I ever became Speaker, and that's illegal, and I'm not going to get in the middle. Did he do it or not? I don't know. But ethics is looking at it. There's other people in jail because of it. And he wanted me to influence it. And you know what? So then they come out and they say, because I kept government open. I'd do it all over again. We're not going to pay our troops? No, I'm going to pay my troops. You can't do the job? Okay. When it comes to the concession, the motion to vacate about one person being able to make that motion, how long has that been in the rules? Forever. The only time it was changed is when Pelosi became Speaker the second time.
In fact, it wasn't just McCarthy. Here is yet another Republican calling out Gaetz publicly.
Look, the House is a rough and rowdy place, but Mike Johnson is going to be just fine. I served 20 years in the military. It's my absolute honor to be in Congress, but I served with some real scumbags. Look, Matt Gaetz, he paid minors to have sex with him at drug parties. Bob Good endorsed my opponent, a known neo-Nazi. These people used to walk around with white hoods at night. Now they're walking around with white hoods in the daytime.
And look, I obviously can't predict what the House Ethics Committee is going to do, and I will note for posterity that the Justice Department opted not to charge Gaetz, which I suppose shouldn't come as a surprise at the hands of Merrick Garland, whose entire MO is not upholding the rule of law, but apparently to avoid the optics of politicization above all else. But still, there's an expression that comes to mind while listening to Gaetz's frenetic denials. A hit dog will holler. So while this investigation into Gaetz will continue, I wouldn't be surprised to see Gaetz ramp up his attacks against whoever he views as responsible. It's worth noting that when it comes to revenge, Gaetz pulls no punches. Remember, he was unilaterally responsible for Kevin McCarthy losing his speakership. He also literally outed his Republican colleague who criticized him and his antics by claiming during a live broadcast that his colleague was, quote, living a lie. Clearly, Gaetz isn't unwilling to wield any weapons he views as being at his disposal in an effort to control the narrative. And these tactics aren't just cause for alarm unto themselves, but also because this is the kind of behavior that's rewarded by promotions in today's GOP. In fact, here's Matt Gaetz threatening the prospect of him becoming Attorney General.
I don't ascribe to the theory that we just have to surrender sending criminal referrals because somehow Merrick Garland will never prosecute them. For many of the crimes that we are observing, the statute of limitations is 5 years. And so we could send criminal referrals to the Department of Justice. We go take the White House back, and you never know, David, it may be an Attorney General Matt Gaetz down the road or someone of my liking who will be there to actually enforce the law and provide the accountability, not just the vision, but the actual accountability. The people that are sending you those messages deserve that in a free and just and constitutional republic.
Yeah, we do. We absolutely do. And I like that. I like that. Attorney General Matt Gaetz. Are you kidding me? Man.
The world is not ready, probably. Certainly Senate confirmation wouldn't be. But, you know,
well, we're getting
a
there.
Boy can dream.
We're getting there. You can dream, and we got to start with taking back the White House.
And if you think that Matt Gaetz is too extreme for Donald Trump, let me be perfectly clear, Gaetz is 100% in line with the rest of Trump's far-right, Christo-fascist extremist picks. And by the way, these threats and these tactics by Gaetz shouldn't come as a surprise, given the extent to which Republicans have success at governing by fear. This is their playbook now. They will destroy anything and everyone in their path in an attempt to keep or expand their own power. Just look at Donald Trump himself. He's proven that he will attack anyone, no matter how much they gave up for him, if they so much as look at him in the wrong way. Just a few months back, Lindsey Graham came out against Trump's pretend stance, saying that abortion is a state's issue, only for Trump to take to Truth Social and write, "I blame myself for Lindsey Graham because the only reason he won in the great state of South Carolina is because I endorsed him." Or Ronna McDaniel, who was such a blatant supplicant to Donald Trump that she literally removed Romney from her own name in deference to him, only to be unceremoniously and publicly discarded as RNC chair. It is about naked power and ambition at all costs and nothing more. And the only thing more pathetic than these sycophants falling in line at Trump's feet is their inability to recognize that they will be summarily discarded the moment they lose their usefulness to him. So it remains to be seen what the House Ethics Committee, which to be clear is led by Republicans, uncovers with regard to Matt Gaetz, but the Florida Republican is clearly intent on keeping it quiet. McCarthy might have lost his career as the result of it, but the rest of the committee doesn't seem too interested in allowing Gaetz's fear tactics to bully them into submission. I've got a really exciting announcement. I've written a book. It's called Shameless. This book explores how Republicans have exploited their historical branding while attacking our democracy, how the media has proven itself a willful participant, and how Democrats can learn from this to rebalance the political scales and save our democracy. It has been a lifelong dream of mine to write my own book, and so I'd like to ask you to pre-order it by clicking the link right here on the screen. And if you buy within this pre-order period, your book is going to come with a signed nameplate. As you know, I've never had a single sponsor on my channel. I don't ask for money or anything like that, but if you're looking for a way to support me, this is hands down the best way to do it. So again, follow the link right here on the screen, and thank you from the bottom of my heart for pre-ordering Shameless. And as always, make sure to subscribe to see more of my content.